Audrain is a place that celebrates, preserves, and shares automotive history. The Audrain Group consists of a not-for-profit side, the Audrain Automobile Museum and the Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week, and also a for-profit side, Audrain Motorsport and Linkage Magazine.
The Audrain Museum was created really for the purpose of sharing automobiles, the history of automobiles, and the city of Newport with the greater world.
It's something that is a passion of the people that are involved. We love cars. We love the activities of collecting, of driving, of community. There's so many people that have different views and come at this in different ways. We just like to be a central point. So if somebody wants advice on, what's a great car to invest in, or how do I restore this car, or I've always wanted to get to a track day, or I want to take a trip with other car enthusiasts. We had a great trip to Goodwood last year to the members meeting where we took our members. And the commentary is just, it's a once in a lifetime experience for some people. It's a bucket list experience for some people. And it's just really that sense of community.
We're very much an active organization. Here in the museum, the Audrain Automobile Museum, we make sure that we share the collection as much as possible through our exhibitions in the gallery, as well as taking cars out to other events, other Concours d'Elegance events, to sporting events such as the Goodwood Festival of Speed and the Mille Miglia. We also make videos of the cars in the collection and motorcycles in the collection on the road, so people can understand why these vehicles were built and how they're used and what makes them so special. The Audrain collections consist basically of two entities. The Audrain Automobile Museum has a collection of cars which it has acquired and have been donated to the museum, as well as utilizing the Audrain collections, plural, which are the cars of the founders of the museum, as well as collectors who want to help us tell our stories through our exhibitions. So we borrow cars from those collections to tell the stories that we need to do in the exhibitions that we do here in the museum, which we of course change 4 times a year. When they came together and decided to found the Audrain Automobile Museum, they decided that one of the things that was very important is to have as encyclopedic a collection of cars possible, to really tell the story of how the car developed, its effect on the lives of people, and how it functions as probably, arguably, the most important technological development of the 20th century. The collections run from 1889 to 2022. So it's the full gamut of automotive experience. Veteran cars, sports and racing cars, luxury cars, family cars, things that tell a very basic connection with the people who own these cars, the people that made these cars, fascinating stories that we like to share with the community at large. We also saw how our audience here at the Audrain comes to see the things they know and love and to see things they've never seen before in their lives. Our goal in putting on every exhibition is that when our visitor guest walks through the door, he or she sees something that immediately makes them say, "Oh, I remember that, it's fantastic," and "Oh my God, I've never seen that before, wow." And so that's our goal in every exhibition that we do. Deciding what the exhibitions should be and planning them is one of the most fun parts of this job. I work very closely with David DeMusia, our executive director, and the curatorial staff, as well as our board, to look at what we have in the collections that we want to highlight and the stories we want to tell. Because of the range of the collections, we want to make sure that people get to see as many parts of the collection as possible. And we currently have our exhibition schedule planned out through March 2025. And it's very exciting because we want to maintain that balance, to make sure that people see the very familiar and the unexpected. And to always teach. It's a very, very funny thing that sometimes people have an idea that educational things or instructional things are boring. But we have found that if you can get to what the emotional connection is with every object we put in the gallery, then you connect with the public at large.
Nick and I have been business partners for many, many years, and we share a love of cars. We've always involved our families in everything that we've done, so you know, as we started to enjoy the different trips and opportunities, and whether it's a great auction event that we would go to or a driving event, and then we just thought, you know, we have this opportunity to open it up to the community, to the world, and really do some bespoke things, and whether it's behind the scenes at an auction or a great event like Pebble or Goodwood. And we said, you know, there's something here to do that we have passion for, that we can make a difference. And you know, we've just been enjoying the growth of Audrain. Our social media has been an incredible part of that expansion. And then partnerships. I know I keep mentioning Goodwood, but it's such an incredible part of our growth, and to be able to go across the ocean, to go to the UK, and to work with people that have such a similar vision, but of course with years and decades of history. Lord March was at our Concours last month, and that's also just a great way that we can continue to expand our brand, co-brand, and reach just a growing population.
The Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week is one of the most exciting things that we do here with this organization, and frankly, it's the reason why I'm sitting here today. I first became acquainted with the Audrain collections back in 2016 when, in my role as an appraiser and consultant, I was asked to come in and appraise the collections. I then served as a consultant to the collections for a number of years, and when the idea came up to do a concours, my reaction was frankly, why? The world does not need another Concours d'Elegance. I've been a part of them as administration, as an entrant, as a judge, across the United States and around the world, and I thought, there are enough Concours events, thank you very much. But I began to spend more time here in Newport, and it's the city itself that really convinced me that this is the place to do exactly what we are doing. Newport is a place that is unmatched anywhere in the world. It's a city that actually lives its history. One of the few cities in North America founded in the 17th century, with a wonderfully preserved and thriving 18th century, 19th century, and 20th century components. The museum, of course, is the heart of it, and our Concours Village is in our next door neighbor, the International Tennis Hall of Fame.
Well, the Motor Week belongs here. It always belonged here. It's a whole week long. There's seminars. There are car company events where they bring in their newest vehicles, they launch them. We have a gathering which has 5,000 to 6,000 people that attend at Doris Duke's Rough Point, which is one of the most beautiful places on the island. And thousands of people come, they enjoy their company, the food, and most importantly, the cars.
So it's a spectacular thing. We have a Concours d'Elegance tour that drives around the island and through the area, showing off this wonderful countryside that we have here in Rhode Island and the Quidnick Island and surrounding areas. And it's something that draws people from around the region, around the country, and indeed around the world. We're incredibly gratified that our inaugural year, 2019, we were named in the top 50 greatest auto events in the world. Absolutely astonishing. One of our greatest points of community engagement is the Audrain Cars and Coffee season, which this year ran from April and will end in November. It's our longest season ever. We hold them at various locations around Quidnick Island and nearby, and typically a Cars and Coffee event, which we have every other weekend, draws between 350 and 400 cars. Our largest one on the weekend of the Concours d'Elegance itself draws over 1,000 cars. And it's often for many people their first point of engagement with the Audrain, and we have tremendous membership growth through the Cars and Coffee events.
One of the events that we're always excited about is our Veterans Car Tour, which is pre-1907 cars. It is Newport to Bristol to Newport, and it's something that's frankly modeled after something that's been done in the UK for many years with the London to Brighton run. Last year was our first year running the event. We had about 30 participants, and it was fantastic. People were so excited about it. They dressed in time appropriate clothing. It was a cold day, and what we've learned, which is really fun, is weather is secondary. These cars were built to drive. So this is one of my favorite places. This is a building that we call Park Place. It's Audrain Park Place. And there are hundreds of vehicles here. And as you know, we're in Newport, Rhode Island, which has an amazing summer season. So what we see is our members, our patrons, they take their cars in April and they bring them back in October. And along the way, maybe they're here for a weekend, maybe they have guests coming, but we provide all sorts of concierge service. We'll bring cars to them, we'll pick cars up, we'll service the cars, we'll detail the cars. A lot of times people will want to undertake restoration projects. It's very daunting. If you have one car that you love, but it's not central to your life, you need help. And you want to know who are the trusted vendors. A lot of our museum members are also Park Place customers because, again, it's that passion for the industry.
The Vanderbilt Club is also part of the Audrain Motorsports Group. It's a meeting place on weekends for seminars. It's for watching F1 events or NASCAR events or whatever kind of events people want to watch that are members. It's a meeting place for some of our events leave from here, their tours or the driving events that are local through, it may be an event to see the foliage falling in the fall. It may be an event in the summertime to go and enjoy the seafood or the sea views up and down the New England coast. So this building serves a lot of purposes for us. And there's also many times we move a few cars and we turn this into an event space where people can have dinner with cars. You've heard of coffee with cars, and they have dinner with cars and they enjoy the fellowship.
Our annual event where we are the sponsor of the members meeting at Goodwood, honestly, it's a thrill to be the sponsor. When I was there last year and I could see our flag with your flag and the people that we met and just the atmosphere. We were at the Jackie Stewart Center. I grew up loving Jackie Stewart, and just to be in that racing environment, to the noise, the smell, the activity, and the greatest part of it was we brought members of ours, some of which weren't familiar with Goodwood yet, some of which had always wished to come to Goodwood. And as I said in the beginning, it's kind of a lifetime memory and something that we're just thrilled to be able to offer to our members and to participate with you in such a great weekend.
We try to do bespoke international tours. Last year we went to Goodwood at the members meeting, and it was spectacular. We're doing another one this year coming up in Nashville, and John Oates has helped us prepare that program with all his favorites of Nashville because he lives there, and we're going on his favorite roads to his favorite restaurants to kind of see what Nashville has to offer. And we try and take 20 to 25 cars. It's very small. It's all for the members and the affiliates. So we have people coming from all over the world to those events. Some are in England to go to England. Others are coming from here or coming from Germany and meeting there. And it usually ends with an event, like ours is around music. In Nashville, it was around members meeting at Goodwood. So we'll do other events, whether it's the Alps or whether it's the Dolomites. There'll be some extraordinary events to see things you normally wouldn't see. And we usually try to tour a few collections that are local to wherever the events are, so we can see. At McLaren, we got to see all the cars. They call it the Boulevard. And that was a wonderful experience.
Well, our next exhibition after this one is called Landmarks in Automotive Engineering, the early years. So we're going to have vehicles in the gallery from the 1886 Benz Patent Motorwagen replica up to a 1939 Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 Touring Berlinetta. It's one of those things that shows the incredibly rapid pace of development in engineering and design through that period. And that's the kind of exhibition that we really get excited about. We'll also be celebrating Japanese cars in an upcoming exhibition. We're doing an exhibition which I'm very excited about called Wonders in Wood on Land and Sea, showing woody cars and some wonderful yachts that were created here in Newport and celebrated in our sailing histories.
I hope that we continue to grow like we've been growing over the last 7 years now. When Nick and his wife Shelley came up with the idea that we would open a museum, and we talked about it and we said, yes, let's do it. I don't know that we at that point had any idea we could encompass everything that we encompass today. But we see Audrain as a global brand. We see ourselves as ambassadors to the industry. We want to be welcoming. We want to really care for our guests, our visitors, and we focus on their experience here.
My dreams, eventually additional exhibition space so that we can bring even more exhibitions to the public, and bringing more people into our family in all aspects of what it is that we do. The Motor Week, Cars and Coffee, our seminar series, everything that we can do to get that information out there and share our passion with as wide a world as possible.